good news. Diabetes is controllable through diet and exercise. And let's see, I'm going to take these two tables, and I'm going to use you guys just as an example as I go through this. I go as a volunteer with the American Diabetes Association. I attend a lot of different conferences, and one of the pieces of information that came out of there was about this clinical trial that was conducted. It was over a 4-year period, 3,000 people that had a predisposition for diabetes, 3 control groups of just over 1,000, 27 locations across America, so it was very varied all across the world. Okay, one group of 1,000 was taking a placebo, means a fake pill, right? The second group was taking metformin. Metformin is the main drug prescription that when a doctor diagnoses someone with diabetes, metformin is one of the first things that they will prescribe for them. And what it does is it helps lower their blood glucose levels. The third group, all they did was diet and exercise. All right, so we're just going to say 2 of y'all were diet and exercise, 2 of you on metformin, and you 2 were on the placebo. All right. Now, what happened at the end of that study, it went over 4 years. If all of you had been on the placebo, all 6 of you would have ended up probably with diabetes. The 2 of you that were on metformin, 1 of you would have developed diabetes. But the 2 of you that were had diet and exercise only would not have developed diabetes. And that's the biggest message that I want to give to you tonight. So I've talked about the symptoms and diet and exercise. Now, exercise just means, and this is true because in another conference I attended, this exercise doesn't have to be aerobics, it doesn't have to be anything except for a 30-minute walk. Just a walk with your friend, a walk with your husband, walk with your wife. That's all it means is just 30 minutes every day, and it can make such a big difference. And not only in keep you avoid from having diabetes, but also many other things, heart disease, and I see some shaking heads, yes, and it's absolutely true. So if you can, and I see some walkers in here too, go ahead and just give it your best shot to do the 30 minutes every day, and it will just impact your health significantly. And in this one study, there were plenty of folks that were over 80. They were in the study too, and it lengthened their time relative to folks that weren't exercising. It was like 10 years. It was significant. I didn't bring all those statistics with me because that's not what we're here to talk about, but I just want to emphasize that point. The other thing, I'm going to specifically talk about diet, because I'm sure you guys have heard about what's good meals, planning, and you don't fill up a plate. These plate sizes are perfect. It's like sometimes we're used to those big old plates this big, and right, you can't fill those plates up. It's like it's just too much food. But if you see corn and syrup or sugar together, then here's what I'm going to ask you to do is don't buy it for yourself. Don't let your children buy it. Don't let your grandchildren buy it, because all it's going to do is significantly impact their health. And so if you take nothing else away from here tonight, is get rid of the corn sugars in your diet, because it will just, it's just really, really, really bad for you. All right. And I'm just going to underscore that point. This was last June. I went to Chicago for an American Diabetes Association meeting, and the ADA's Chief Scientific and Medical Officer, his name is Richard Kahn, he has a PhD. He could have talked to us about 1,000 different things, but that's the only thing that he talked to this whole group of about 17,000 people about was about corn syrup and corn sugar. So and so he was so serious because, diabetes, American Diabetes Association has been around for 68 years. That's a very long time, but we've got a big struggle ahead of us, and it didn't help that 7 years ago, we had the introduction of this terrible ingredient into lots of our food, and it's in everything. It's in Ritz crackers. It's in sometimes it's in yogurt. You just can't even imagine where it is until you start reading the labels. Okay, over here on this table, I have brought quite a few things, and I'm just going to run through what I have. And the first thing is this, the risk test. I'm going to encourage every one of you to pick that up. And if you feel like you don't need it, then give it to someone that you care about. And you can, and it also has a lot of good statistics on the back side. Proper foot care. There's lots of things about wearing comfortable shoes. Don't get them too tight. Ladies tend to want to wear tight shoes, and just don't do that, because that's not going to help at all. Diabetes advisor, the Diabetes Dictionary of Chronic Complications, making physical activity a part of your routine, finding and treating heart and blood vessel disease, eating for your health. There's just different little pamphlets on diabetes. Now the ones that if you pick nothing else up, this is a little more background stuff, but the risk test, the one on the little pamphlet on the corner is Diabetes and Introduction. It kind of underscores back everything that I've said tonight. The Diabetes Forecast is a magazine, and it comes out once a month, and it says it's the 2008 resource guide, and I only have 4 or 5 copies of that. I couldn't bring enough for everybody. And the last thing that I really want to talk about is Diabetes University. And this lady over here, I believe you said your son is going, is that right? It's a one-day seminar. It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday at the Armstrong Center. You know where the old Publix used to be? Okay, it's right, and so it's a beautiful new facility. And we have lots of exhibitors and vendors that are there to and it's all about diabetes. So if you have an interest, or do you know someone that would like to come, we have physicians from Savannah. We have certified diabetes educators. We have registered dietitians. We have podiatrists. We have ophthalmologists that are talking about your eyes. We have a dentist who's going to talk about teeth, and I talked earlier about gum disease being one of those hidden signs of diabetes, and it's just going to be a wonderful day. We'll be there. The Wound Care Clinic will have a little table there, so if you want to learn a little more about that, we'll be available. We have people with diabetic shoes and different things like that, but it's called Diabetes University. Educate yourself, improve your health. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, and I do appreciate your attentiveness, and every one of you. When I walked around here, I could tell you've got just a special. Each one of you are a very special person, and you take care of yourself, and you're here because that's what you want to do, and I can appreciate that. So thank you very, very, very much for being here, and I certainly answer any questions that you might have, but wish you all the very best of health in 2008. Thank you.